So good morning. Nice to be with you on here in Vancouver and Vancouver Island, a beautiful Sunday morning with the sun shining and blue sky. And with that, let's close our eyes and get settled into a comfortable sitting position. And begin to feel the inhalation and exhalation of your breath. And feel the earth beneath you, the places where your legs and your sit bones are making contact with the ground. You're welcome to shift or wiggle in any way so that you can feel comfortable. And just taking a few moments to really feel the base of your body, the pelvis and the legs, and to make any adjustments. And from your base, feeling the spine and the back muscles. And finding a way to elongate the spine without creating tension. Feeling broad across your collarbones. A softness in your heart. And relaxing all of your facial muscles. And then coming back to your breath. Inhale and exhale of your breath. And as you're ready, we'll open the eyes and begin with lifting the shoulders upward. Exhale, releasing the shoulders down. And you're going to continue with lifting and lowering. With your breath. Now we'll change. We'll circle the shoulders upward and circle them back and down. And as you're working with the shoulder area, also tune into your neck. And in the opposite direction. So from the back towards the front. And then relax. Bring your elbows, forearms, and palms together if you're able, or close towards one another. Inhale, open your elbows wide. Exhale, close in front. Opening as you breathe in. Closing as you breathe out. 3 times. And then let's relax. We'll work with making circles in the neck area. So starting with the chin down, rolling towards the right shoulder, pausing, back towards the left shoulder. And then you can continue. If you want, you can roll the head all the way back and around. Or simply from one shoulder to the other. And noticing all the creaky areas, all the tense areas. Encouraging movement at the very top of our spine. And if your head is making circles all the way around, then let's switch directions. You're also welcome if there's a sore spot or tender spot to pause the movement and to breathe into a particular area. And next time you bring the chin down towards the center, we'll come back up into neutral. So now we're going to open the arms wide, bend at the elbows, and now we're going to lift the elbows upward behind the head and lower down. You can do this movement slower or faster than me, and you're just noticing what are the muscles that are involved to lift the elbows. And what do you feel through the upper part of your back and neck? And then let's release. So now we're going to tip the head over to the left side. And if you'd like, reach the right fingertips away. And feel the stretch for the side of the neck and into the arm. Sometimes you can also feel into the scalp muscles, maybe the jaw area. And then back to center and to the other side, tipping the head to the right, left fingertips away. And focusing on the side of the neck. And all the way down into the arm and the fingers. And then coming back up. And one more for our shoulders here. Arms wide. Make a fist with your thumbs up, and you're going to point the thumbs down and then point them up and back. So we're creating a rotation in the shoulder socket. And you're noticing. And one more time. And then release. So now let's extend our legs and get some movement into our legs. So first tapping. Calf muscles, hamstring muscles. And then your toes swing together and apart. And now we'll work specifically with the toes, feet, and ankles. So as if you're making a fist with the toes and then spreading the toes apart. Making a fist with the toes, spreading them apart, widening the toes. One more time. And now we're going to point and flex. So you're pointing the feet, and then you're sending the heels forward, and you're noticing what you feel in the area of your legs and the ankles. One more time. So next we're going to bend the right knee. Foot can be against the left thigh or maybe on top of the left thigh for half butterfly, where the knee is moving up and down. You can move the knee at a slower or quicker pace than I am. And we are encouraging circulation into the joint tissue. Half butterfly pose. And really good because of how it helps maintain flexibility in the hip joint and how we're externally rotating. So now let's switch sides. Again, foot can be against the thigh or on top of the thigh. Knee is moving up and down at a pace that feels suitable for you. Your awareness is internal with the left hip joint. And then we will change our position and come onto the hands and knees. So we're in the position to do cat pose where we will round the spine, draw the abdomen in, and then extend the spine. You can move at your own pace. Use your breath. And we're going to switch and come into a variation now on the elbows and forearms. Same movement, but just a variation. One more time. So now we're going to slide back towards our heels in child's pose. Hands can be in front of you or alongside the body. Breathing into the back of your body. And we'll take a few more breaths. Now we're going to roll up into sitting. Bring your hands onto your knees and draw the abdomen in and rolling up. So now we're going to do some very heating movements to work on the core and the abdomen area. So we'll start with the feet in front, interlocking the hands. We're going to exhale forward and circle towards the left, come back and circle around to the front. So we are bringing the body forward, circling the arms as if we're stirring a big pot. Exhaling forward, inhaling back. And now in the opposite direction. And one more time. And then we're going to pause and rest. So now we'll bend the knees, feet on the floor, hold on to the backs of the knees. See if you can sit nice and tall with the spine so that you're not rounding the spine. And then lean back so the feet come off the floor. And this is where our core work begins. That it takes balance to hold you in this position. If you're able, you might consider releasing your hands so that you're reaching the hands forward. You're breathing and you can feel this strengthening around your pelvis and abdomen area. And then release your feet down. You can lean your body forward, spread the knees apart, take a few deep breaths. And we'll try this again. Leaning back, feet come off the floor. If you'd like, you can reach your heels to the height of the knees. You can keep your hands behind the knees or release them forward. Breathing, generating heat and warmth, generating strength in the core and abdomen. And then release. Your feet come down, the knees apart, lean forward a little bit, breathe normally. And now another warming, heat generating, active pose. Come to the front of your mat. We're going to roll back and roll front. So you roll back along the spine. Abdomen is towards your low back to create a roundness. It might feel bumpy, it might not feel smooth. You practice to the best of your ability. And one more time. Good. And now we're going to roll down. We're doing a lot of work in the abdomen at the beginning of class today. Feet on the floor, knees bent, arms reaching out, and we slowly roll down onto our backs. And then once you get down, relax and release your legs. Relax and release in your abdomen. And we're going to do a few more here, generating heat and warmth. So knees to the chest, legs extend upward towards the ceiling. And then as if you're riding a bicycle in slow motion, and you're trying to make the movement as big as possible within your capacity and without overtaxing or straining the body. And resting when you need. Opposite direction. And then we'll allow both feet to relax on the floor. Take a few relaxed, deep breaths. Before our next one, we're going to do a movement that might be new to you. We have the feet apart towards the edge of the yoga mat, as far apart as you're able. The left knee is going to stay as it is. The knee is pointing upward to the ceiling. And the right knee falls inward towards the left ankle. And it might be a small movement, or it might be a bigger movement. Doesn't matter whether it's small or big. The most important thing is the movement And then you bring it back into center. And this targets muscles very deep within the pelvis. So now the right knee is pointing up to the ceiling and the left knee falls inward towards the right ankle. Small or big movement, doesn't matter. Back to center. You're going to do this twice more on both sides. Where one knee falls inward, the other knee stays put. And you're noticing, what's happening here? What do I feel? Noticing if it's easier on one side or the other. And after we've done both sides 2 times, we're going to continue with core and abdomen. Just wanted to give you a bit of a break. Okay, so now we'll walk the feet closer together and walk the feet closer towards your buttocks. So your feet are hip width apart and we're ready for bridge pose. On the inhale, pressing the feet into the floor to lift your pelvis as high as you can comfortably lift. And on the exhale, lowering down, nice and slow. The movement is timed with our breathing. You continue in this way, moving with your breath. And the next time you lift, let's keep the pelvis elevated. Breathing, slow and steady breath. And then gently lowering all the way down. And then hug your knees. That was a back bend in addition to strengthening the core muscles. So as we bring the knees to the chest, we're countering that bend for the low back. So just hold and press your knees nice and close. And last one for the abdomen. Feet to the floor, hands underneath you. And now abdominal leg lifts, knees to the chest, legs extend upward and lower towards the floor. Some of you will be able to lower and lift the legs with the legs straight. You're breathing throughout the movement. A few more times. Of course, if you need to rest in between, you can. And next time you're lowering the legs, you can lower them all the way down to the ground. Release your hands from underneath the body and let the whole body relax. And now we're going to roll onto our side for some movement for the hip joint, which we haven't done so much of yet today. So both palms together, and then bringing the arm and leg towards one another and away from one another. And the movement is synchronized with the breathing. You can do it twice more, or if you're able, you can hold on to the foot. And then we'll release. Coming to the other side, so you can either roll onto the front or the back. Take a moment just to pause and relax. And then coming to the other side. And once you're ready, beginning the movement. The movement of the limbs is harmonized with the movement of your breath. And you can decide to continue the movement or hold on to the leg. And then release the limbs, and we'll roll onto our front so that we can do some strengthening for the back. So bring your palm on top of palm, forehead down, rest for a moment. Take a few breaths into the back of your body. Now we'll reach our arms alongside the body. We're going to lift as we breathe in, lower as we breathe out. Feet can be together or apart. Lifting as you breathe in. Lowering as you breathe out. And continue at your own pace. Next time you lift, let's stay in this position and breathe. And then lower and relax. You can turn your head to one side. And then turn your head to the other side. And we'll do a few rounds of cobra, encouraging back bending not only in the lower part of the back, but also in the upper part of the back. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. See if you can bring your shoulders away from your ears. Press your pelvis into the floor and lift the chest and head. Lower on the exhale. You're going to do it a few times with your breathing, lifting and lowering. You're noticing all of the muscles that are required to lift you. And then you release and relax those muscles on the exhale. Next time we'll stay in our cobra position. So not lifting too high. It's high enough that you can sustain this position. And then lower and relax. And then we'll push up onto the hands and knees and sink back into child's pose. Ease your way in. This is a nice counter pose to the work we've been doing. Taking a few breaths in child's pose. And then coming back up onto the hands and knees. We'll come into downward facing dog, fingers spread wide, toes tucking, and then lifting the knees. And today in our downward dog, we're going to lift the heels. We're going to lift up onto the toes. You can bend the knees, pressing your body towards your thighs as you keep the heels lifted. Take a few breaths as we're right up onto our toes. And now we're going to draw the heels downward. Maybe they'll touch, maybe they won't. And take a few breaths in this shape of the body, downward facing dog. So next we're going to walk the hands towards our feet, coming into it standing forward bend. Head is relaxed, arms are relaxed, upper body is folded forward over your legs. And you allow gravity to do its work. And let's take 3 slow, deep breaths. Now we're going to slowly roll up into standing. The abdomen draws inward to support your back and spine. You are aware of your back as you are rolling up. And finally, the head lifts. So we're going to do what's called toe walking and heel walking. So I don't have much room, but you can do it on your mat, or if you are in a bigger area, you can walk a little farther off of your mat. So it goes like this: interlocking the hands, palms facing upward to the ceiling. Reach your arms upward, so you're stretching the arms, and now coming up onto the toes. And you're going to walk forward on your toes, keeping the arms stretched upward. You can walk to across the room or across the mat. You're going to stay up on your toes, stretching the whole body. You might find that breath gets a little quicker. Heartbeat gets a little quicker. Keep stretching and keep walking. And find your way back to where you started. And then you can drop the heels down and relax the arms down, coming into a neutral standing position as you feel the effects of this movement. Take a few deep breaths. We'll do heel walking. So same thing we do with our arms, but now we're going to lift our toes. It'll feel a little bit harder to walk. Your steps might be shorter, and you're going to walk across your mat or across the room on your heels. This really is a nice, warming, activating, energizing, simple movement to do. You can do it in the middle of your day. And you're going to find your way back to where you started. Let the toes come down and let your arms relax, coming into a neutral standing position. And now it's time for our balancing poses. We'll do some different ones today than we normally do. We'll start with a simple version. You can always come back to this one if the balancing poses are hard for you. Shifting your weight to your left foot and lifting your right knee. And noticing all that's going on inside in order for you to do this. The strength that's required in your foot and leg, the strength that's required in the core muscles. They'll continue to step, shift, and lift. And the next time you step on your left foot, if you're feeling you're able to be in this position, then you'll hold on to the right knee and find a line, center line from your tailbone out through the skull and orienting your body around this line. You can even visualize it. And now we're going to bring the left arm outward and move the right knee outward. And then coming back to our starting position, taking a moment to be in neutral. And we'll come to the other side, standing on the right foot, holding the knee, finding that center line. And as you're ready, the arm reaching outward and the knee moving outward. And then coming back to neutral, releasing your feet, coming into a neutral standing position. Good. So the next one we're going to do is to shift our weight onto our left foot. Hands can be on the hip. And you're going to tip the body forward as you lift the leg back. Maybe you'll be able to come into a position where your leg and your upper body are parallel to the floor, or maybe not. And you're just going to alternate on both sides. and you're going to do whatever range is possible for you. So it might be a small tip, or you might be able to bring your body perpendicular to the parallel to the floor, is what I meant to say. And you're going to do an equal number on both sides. And then come back into a neutral standing position. So lots of one-legged balance today. The third one we'll do is tree pose. Many of you know it. It's often done in yoga classes. Standing on your left leg, and the right foot comes somewhere along the left leg, avoiding the knee so that we're not putting pressure on the kneecap. Palms can be together in front of you, or you can even reach them upward. If you come out of the pose or lose your balance, it's no problem. When you're ready, you can come to the other side. Shifting your weight to your right leg. Placing your left foot somewhere on your right leg. Hands can be at the heart or upward. And then coming back into a neutral standing position. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. And we're going to do a beautiful breathing movement. So open your eyes, palms face front. This is going to slow things down as we change into a different pace slightly. Reaching the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, arms cross above the crown. Inhale, the arms open wide to shoulder height. And exhale, the palms come down to the sides. Inhale to shoulders. Exhale above the crown. Inhale, shoulders. Exhale, release. Let's do that 3 times. Follow your own breath. Good. So next we're going to come down into a seated squat. We'll do some seated poses before we come down to lying on the floor. So sometimes it's helpful to have the help of props. And I certainly need help when I do a squat. So you can use whatever support you need. I have my heels on the ground, but I am sitting on a cushion, and that helps give me the support I need to be in a squat. Once you're in your supported squat or your squat, feel and see if you can activate your muscles to support you and lengthen the spine. We're going to be in this position for about 5 breaths. If you'd like, you can bring the palms together. And then we will come out of our squat and come into a position where we will sit with our left foot folded in and our right leg extended out. And then once you're in this position, let's turn over our right leg, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, hinge forward. Some of you might be able to come farther forward than me, or maybe less. And what's most important is what it feels like, and for you to feel the back of the leg, and to use this position to start to open up the hamstring muscles, and the tissue through the back of the body. A few slow, deep breaths. And then we'll slowly come up. I like to use my right hand underneath of the knee to help the right foot come back. And now we'll extend the left leg, coming to the other side, folding the right foot in, turning over that left leg, taking a deep breath in and hinging or leaning forward. The hands can be wherever are comfortable. The eyes can be open or closed. As we feel and breathe into the left leg. Taking a few more slow, relaxed breaths. And then slowly coming back up. You can use your left hand underneath of the knee to draw the knee in. So now knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and let's bring both knees to the right side. My right foot is against my left thigh, and the bolster that I was sitting on is now in front of my right knee. And I'm going to have hands on either side of the right thigh as I walk my body forward, resting my chest on top of my right thigh and the head towards the ground. Breathing into the right buttock. And we'll spend a few more breaths. Now we're going to slowly come up. You can slide your hands towards you and then press up. And we'll come to the other side, bringing our feet and knees to the left side. My left foot is against my right thigh. If you have a bolster or pillow, you can move it over your left knee. Then walking it forward. Maybe you'll rest on your forearms. Maybe you can come all the way forward, resting your forehead down. And breathing into the left hip. And then slowly coming up. And now we will roll onto our backs. So you can come down onto your back, bring the knees into your chest, and roll gently from one side to the other side. And then bringing the feet to the floor. The feet and knees will be together. The right arm is going to reach up to the ceiling and to the floor behind you. So the right arm is right beside your ear. And if that's not comfortable, just move it a little bit farther away from your head. And now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, both knees to the left side. So we're coming into a twist. If you need to have a pillow between your knees, you can. Or maybe a block underneath of both knees. And the area of focus here is our right shoulder area. See if you can breathe into the right armpit and right shoulder. If your fingers go numb, you can adjust the position of your hand or right arm. We'll stay in this position just for a little while longer. And as we come out now, you can bring your head to center if it's not already in center. Bring your right arm back. We're going to press the knees together to engage the inner thighs and help bring the knees back to center. And then hug your knees. And now we'll come to the other side. So the feet are on the floor. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling and rests on the floor behind you. Adjust your left arm. And then as you're ready, allow both knees to fall towards the right side, adding any support that you need. And bringing awareness into our right shoulder area. Beautiful twist. If you're able to breathe into your rib cage, left shoulder area. And then as you're ready, we'll Bring the head back, bring the arm back. Press the knees together to bring the knees back. Hug your knees. Roll gently on your back from one side to the other. And as you're ready, gather whatever things you need to relax in our final pose, where we give the body time to digest and integrate into its memory movements and postures that we've done. The body is still. You're welcome to make subtle adjustments. You are aware of breath. Mother Earth beneath us. Blue sky above. Breath flowing through you like a wave. And imagine bathing in sunlight. Your body breathing in the energy from the sun. Now slowly become aware of your body and the position of your body on the floor. Become aware of sounds that you hear around you. Deepen your breathing to allow your head to move from one side to the other. You can yawn or sigh if that feels appropriate, and stretch your limbs and stretch your spine as you wake up the body from our relaxation. And then roll onto your side and come up into sitting. So lovely to practice with you this morning. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and this long weekend. And let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Farah. I feel